during stressful period. You
Hello. Seems like we.
Hello. It's as if we've lost her.
Yes. Let's give her a few seconds. I'm sure she'll be back. Maybe it's network glitch, but you can all agree with me that so far so good. I am already blown away by some of the points that she has been raising. It is amazing in this time, the kind of things we need to hear. We need to get in touch with our selves, like she's saying. I don't know if anybody is trying to get in touch with her. She's back. Okay.
I'm back, but I can't share my screen. I need the host to disable it. Sorry about
Okay.
You can go ahead now and share.
You can go now. You can try again. Okay.
Yeah. Is it showing now?
Yes,
Yes.
it is. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay, being able to relax during stressful periods, you notice that your friend or your siblings or friends, they are relaxed, you're not running helter skelter. Sometimes it is necessary because, like I mentioned, things are out of control. You just have to leave it and just move on in life. Also, do I consider, it's a question that we can write down for ourselves. Do I consider myself to be emotionally stable? Okay, so we'll talk about the environmental wellness. Um, a good environment, a good environment where you live, work, and study play a key role in our overall well-being. You can imagine living in somewhere that is dirty, filthy, noisy, so many other things. I was talking to someone who said he's looking for a house and he's being careful of the kind of environment because of his children that just where he's living now, small young girls, by the time you see them early in the morning, they're in the hotel with sugar daddies and all that. I can't imagine his children growing up in that environment. So our environment too is very important for our mental health and our overall well-being. Now, do you care and respect your environment? Do you care for it? Some people, the fumes of their generator, their car, the noise, your neighbor is sleeping and your TV set is loud and all that. We need to care and respect our environment if we want to have a very good environmental wellness. We need to enjoy and appreciate our time outside in natural settings, maybe under the tree. You go to the beach, you have a nice breeze, the lagoon, settings like Oluma Rock, Idonre Hill, Obudukatu Raj. Sometimes we need it for our mental health. We avoid polluting the air and water. Then you ask yourself, am I aware of the risks that exist within my environment? Do I act accordingly? Yes, we need to be aware of the risk. In this time of kidnapping, robbery, a lot of things, we need to be aware. You know that, oh, this particular sport is very volatile for this thing. You try and avoid it. You try to know that this particular time you don't go out. Like a certain year in Lagos at Ikorodu, they have a time they do oral. And then some of my colleagues will be like, we're not coming tomorrow because the ladies mustn't go out. So you need to be aware of your environment and then you act accordingly to prevent any unsafe thing that will happen to you. Then create home and work environment that are supportive and nurturing. Yes, we all know that this economic situation and so many things. We need to create home and work environment that are supportive and nurturing. I remember someone that the home wasn't conducive for him, and he had to, look for a side chick outside, and he wasn't that kind of person that was ready to have an affair outside. But just because of the wife, He decided to, and he was just stable with that girlfriend. Of course, later on, the wife came and said she's not doing again, and she left. It was this lady the man brought to the house and was just talked to her, married her, and did not decide to have any other side chick again. I'm not encouraging what happened, but it was just because the only reason, and he said the only reason why he had this side chick was because the wife was not giving him the peace at home. So also work environment, wherever we find ourselves, let's make the environment supportive for each and every one of us. Sometimes when we leave home, we didn't leave home very well. So when we get to the office, let's have a place where it's conducive. And sometimes the office too has been so stressful. When we get back home, let it be conducive for us. That will help our mental well-being. So the question goes, is your home, office, community, a place you feel comfortable, safe, and at ease? Then we talk about financial wellness. This is important. In fact, that's part of what is happening now with the fuel subsidy and economic situations. School fees go up, food items, house rent, a lot of things. But it's very important in our mental well-being. It is living within your means and learning to manage your finances for the short and the long period of time. That means you need to establish a personal budget. I don't know how many of us that have a budget. But honestly, it's not Nigeria. It's not the institution that you work that should have a budget. You should also have a budget, and you stick to the budget. If you decided that this is how much you want to spend, this is how you accept. In some cases that maybe you have to, but really you need to learn to stick to the budget. A colleague of mine was telling me that now that the fuel issue has started, he decided that he's going to be spending, before he was spending maybe 15 or 20K per month, and that now his vehicle will be taking like 80,000 naira per month. But he decided he will be spending 30,000 naira on the vehicle. That the day that 30,000 naira is exhausted, no more vehicle, they will begin to take public transport. So we need to adjust. Do not live beyond your means. That's another problem. People live beyond their means. I don't know who they are actually impressing or something. We just want to, I remember that time people will talk about schools. Oh, my child, I pay 700K for nursery, and I'll be wondering on just top of this alphabet and numeracy. I'm not against it, but I see such people that their salary, what they're doing, they can't actually cope, but they just want to do it. So you just have to manage yourself. I remember our first daughter, when we had to take her to school, I really loved school. As I've been like 16 years ago, it was like 200K or so. And my husband said, look, I am not going to pay for any school that I can remove from my monthly salary. And don't forget that the younger ones too will come. I felt really bad that time. But by the time the second, the third came, I understood what he was saying. So we need to plan ahead. We need to learn about loans. Yes, we want to take loan for business. We want to take loan for some things. We need to learn about debt, how to manage it. So people take loan and they run into bad debts. A lot of people have committed suicide because of debt. Someone was just telling me 2 days ago, a woman that committed suicide because of debt, she didn't pay. So we need to learn about before even taking it and how we intend to pay. On long-term goal, having savings, investments, and also with 20. Before you know it's 20. I remember when I was in service, I just said, oh, I still have like 30 years, But right now, it's less than 20 years. So you might feel you have enough time, but you need to start planning. Then don't let money be the driving force of your life or an indication of your self-worth. Money is good. Yes, we need it. It has to pay a lot of bills, but do not let it be a driving force where you will be forced to go and do what you're not supposed to do. People go as far as doing rituals, which is not supposed to be. So we have to define how we want money to actually direct our life. We need to donate or give money to a cause we believe in. Yes, giving money too will help us. It will help our mental well-being. You can imagine if we find out that they said somebody is homeless, maybe a mother of 2 or 3, and people in the community are contributing money, and you also added your money, and you find out that, oh, they've gotten an accommodation for the person. You will be so happy. Or somebody that was ill or sick, and then you decide to donate money. So part of your mental well-being is also contributing and giving people money, even with all the situation in the country. So I will ask, how does money impact your mental health and well-being? So we also have the intellectual wellness. It's being open to new ideas, thinking critically and finding ways to be creative. You know, that's why we call it intellectual. You need to think new ideas now that things are happening in the country. Civil servants, your money might not be enough, community pharmacy, business, you decide to think of what else to do. Should I learn how to bake? Should I learn other things? Creativity, you begin to learn what can bring money. I know, for instance, during COVID period, it was tough for some people, but that was when some people made it. So because of creativity, you just look for, even I am looking for something else I'm going to do now, bring in money somewhere, because multiple streams of income is very, very necessary now. And our intellectual aspects will help us, which will eventually make us to have a good well-being. We need to develop good study skills and time management. Yes, we say we are working, we don't have time. Thank God for online courses now, certification courses that you can get. You need to study, you need to improve yourself. Like the IT, they upgrade and update. We humans beings too, we need to update and upgrade ourselves so that we can meet up with the challenges in life, and we need to manage our time. Yes, we are working. How do you work? How do you study? You manage your time, whether you have to have online and then you find out when you come back from work over the weekend, you do some online courses. We can manage our time. The ability to seek out new challenges. You look for new challenges, look for things that are challenging, that it has never happened before, and you just feel, oh, I will do it. And no matter what comes, you find a way to surmount those challenges. Development of your own ideas, your views, and your opinions, very important. Exposing yourself to new ideas from people and beliefs that are different from yours. You don't always feel your own idea or your beliefs is always right. Get ideas and beliefs from other people, and that will help you. Am I curious? Am I a curious person that seeks out opportunities to learn or develop a new skill? We should ask ourselves that. We should be curious to develop a new skill. Then what new ideas and innovations have you thought of lately? We need to think of new ideas and innovations. We need to. That's going to help our mental well-being. When we think, when we do things, it helps our mental health and overall well-being as well. Do I enjoy sharing my knowledge with others? Some people are so selfish with their knowledge. When you share your own knowledge, it also helps your mental health. So it's very critical, and we should ask ourselves that kind of question. Occupational wellness. Yes, it has to do with job. Having a career that is meaningful to you. The career you have now, is it meaningful? Are you satisfied? Meaningful to you and the society. You remember when we defined mental health? It has to be something that you're contributing to the community. It's also part of it that but if you look at it, I'm not contributing to the community, then you should check your mental health. It's very important. So a work that gives you personal satisfaction, doing work that you find motivating and interesting. Do you seek opportunities to use and share your talents and skills at work? You can decide to bring up something new in the office that will improve the services that you give, whether in the community pharmacy, whether academics, or even in the hospital. Just decide to bring up innovations and things, or your talent, use your talent to do a lot of things, and it will improve the services. That's a good one too. That's occupational wellness. Able to effectively manage work-related stress and responsibilities. There's always work-related stress, and it's very important that you're able to manage it. That's why mental health workplace is very important, that they keep coming to talk to people. We don't have it in majorly but have the psychologists go and talk to them about managing stress and responsibilities at work. Communicating and collaborating with others, that is very important. You can't be an island on your own. You can't just be just on your own. You don't want to collaborate. That won't help you. You won't have good occupational wellness, and that will affect you. Feeling inspired and challenged on the job or business. Feel inspired. Yes, sometimes you're like, I'm tired of this job. No, but look for something that will help you to enjoy the job. That's what you should do. Do you feel good at the end of each day about the work you have accomplished? Physical wellness. Yes, we so much know. All pharmacists, we know a lot about this. So supporting our physical body, that's what it just means. Our health and safety with physical activities, nutrition, sleep, rest, flexibility. A lot of us need to stand up at work, walk around, we have a sitting position all the time, which is not good. It's not going to be good for our physical wellness, which will affect our overall well-being. And getting good medical care when it's needed. We eat fruits, vegetables, seafood, nuts, as well as balanced diet to improve energy. Good food is very good because it helps our guts. And so because they've know, I mean, there are studies that have shown that if you take bad food, it can have bad guts, and then it affects your emotions and it can cause depression and anxiety as well. So it's very important that you eat good food to have very good energy for your physical well-being. Stay hydrated to feel good and perform well. Respond to signals of hunger and fullness once you are hungry so that you won't go hypoglycemic. So make sure you eat. And when you are full, I will talk about that for people that go to parties and feel there's still food. They bring this one, bring it. Another server comes, bring it. Alcohol, you keep taking on to drink yourself to stupor. You should learn to know when you are full and say no. You should learn to know when you need to eat and eat. It's going to help you because if you are too full and then it's going to affect your physical wellness and of course your overall well-being. So you need to understand that and know how to respond to those signals. Being physically active, like I mentioned earlier, stand up, walk around when you sat down for a long time. Exercise helps to reduce feelings of anxiety and depression, helps prevent and manage stress and promote mental well-being as well. Social wellness, definitely good relationship are one of the most important aspects of your life that can possibly impact your mental health and wellness. So we were talking about coping strategies. We have to have a good relationship, whether with our siblings, the people at work, whether at home. We just need our environment, our neighbors. We need to have a good relationship. If not, if there's no good relationship, you dread going to work or home or family meetings. It's very important. Having a supportive network of family, friends, and colleagues. For me, I have a colleague at work that I can express myself and go down and tell about all the issues I'm facing. I have siblings that I can tell to. I come home and tell my spouse. It's very important. Wherever you find yourself, your environment, because we talked about environmental wellness, you need to be able to talk to people about what you are going through. It's important for our mental well-being. Value diversity, culture, and treat others with respect. I value it when I see maybe Hausa, Igbo, I cherish it. I want to eat their food. I want to learn about their culture. It also helps you because you need to, so that you won't find yourself in environments of a particular country like, no, I don't like this culture. I'm not used to it. No, you just have to respect and be used to it. Maintain and develop friendships and social networks. Please let's try and maintain. Some people don't know how to maintain friendship. Some people don't know how to develop it as well. It's important for our mental well-being. Being able to manage conflict, communication, and trust. This period is very important as well. We have to know how to manage it. Can you manage communication? When they talk to you, do they communicate well with you? And when you communicate with them, do they understand you? Participate in various social activities. Yes, there is no money, but participate in various social activities. Your alma mater is having social gathering, social set, go. The school or the church, they want to have a day out, please go. It's important and it will help your mental well-being. You also learn. It will help you to have new relationship and friends. And you don't know where the new relationship and friendship will also lead you to. So that's important even at this period. It will help you to start a new business or start new ideas or give you something that will just trigger what you just need, even for your financial status. Do you surround yourself with people who cares about you? That is very important. You need to surround yourself with people who do you make it clear when dealing with conflict? Spiritual wellness, that's also important. You need to participate in organized religion. Develop a purpose in life. That's the way you know, oh, I have developed a purpose in life. Have a mixer, you have a purpose why you're created, and that's very important. Having a clear sense of right and wrong. Your spiritual life will help you know what is right and what is wrong. having the ability to explain why you believe what you believe. That's part of the spiritual aspect. Caring for the welfare of others and the environment. You need to care. I've said it. Donate money, donate clothes, and all that. Being able to practice forgiveness and compassion in life. It's important. When you don't forgive people, you are the one carrying the burden. Some people don't even know that they have offended you. Go and meet them. Express yourself. That's part of expressing your emotions. Go meet them. Be compassionate about some things, about some people. When somebody is, having a difficulty of something, have compassion. It helps you. Taking time to pray, that's also very important. There's sometimes siblings, friends, everybody leave you, and then you're just in your room with your maker. Pray at that time. That helps you as well. Ability to spend reflective time alone. Yes, look at the past, you look at the present, you look at the future. That will make you appreciate your life. Oh, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be as well. That will help you generally. So that's the last aspect of the spiritual, the well-being generally. So what does this will help us? It makes it easy for individuals to identify areas of their lives in which they are thriving, as well as those in which they are struggling. You look at all those dimensions and you reflect on it. How have I been managing my emotions, my financial aspect? How about my social aspect, my environment? How is it? Do people like me? Do I socialize in the environment and all that? That's very important. And the core principle behind the will is that balance is key to achieve a state of well-being. Once one is imbalanced, it's going to affect the others. So if we are looking for coping strategies for this period, we need to balance the will of well-being. So how do we maintain a good mental health in these situations? We need to talk to someone we trust. There's no way that we talk about the social wellness. We need to express ourselves. We need to manage our emotions. When things are happening, you need to manage whether you want to get angry, you want to burst out and all that. You need to manage it. It actually really, really helps. It helps you, honestly, because sometimes you leave your office. I'm going to paint a scenario where another colleague of mine was having an issue. Another one was discussing with her, was trying to encourage her, and she was using me as an example. She was crying. She was really down. And when she started using me as an example, the tears had to stop and said, "Do you mean Mrs. Kennedy has been going through all this?" Someone said, "Is it because she comes to the office and she's smiling, joking with everybody, that you don't know what she's going through?" The tears had to stop. So if what I was going through, I brought it to the office environment, it's going to affect everybody. It's going to affect me as well. So it's very important. Accept situations you do not have control over. That is very important. Maintain a good 8 dimensions of well-being. Think about the positive side of every situation. Avoid undue stress. There's some stress you just need to avoid. You need to stress yourself. Take it easy. So in summary, self-care should be seen as a need, not a luxury. People feel self-care is just a luxury. That's time you want to go out. No, it should be part of your daily activity, day-to-day activity. It's a need. You need to take care of yourself every day and be mindful of what you do. We also need the promotion and education of wellness and well-being should be done at various organizations. And I must appreciate CPAN for this. It's very important, this part of it. And then if each institutions or offices still keep having this all the time, it's going to help everybody's mental health. Seek professional help when it is very, very necessary. Check on colleagues, friends, neighbors, and family members as often as you can. And then you should also know that the 8 dimensions of well-being are well interconnected and contributes to healthy living, aiding coping strategies for any contemporary hardships we face now and in the nearest future. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening. I appreciate the process.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pharmacist Oyinlade. She has done justice to our topic. And in fact, she has given us a manual on how to live a balanced life. She has given us a manual on how to cope, especially in this contemporary hard times. Thank you so much. In a few minutes, we would entertain a few questions from our colleagues, whoever is may have a question to ask, please you feel free to do that in a few minutes. But I just want to recap what she said. In a nutshell, we have to be mindful. We have to practice mindfulness, be aware of what is going on around us. And then we know we have to have people, surround ourselves with the right people, right? And she also said that practicing wellness is a necessity, is not a luxury. Self-care is a necessity, is needful, especially in this time as we get older and older. So, without much ado, I just want to hear from our focal person for mental and psychiatric, SIPAN, Dr. Suleiman. I also want to recognize the presence of our SIPAN National Coordinator and a host of other people. Please, SIPAN National Chairman, please can you unmute yourself and say something?
The chairman is not online, but the vice chairman is online. Dr. Nwafo.
Okay, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, ma. We can hear you clearly.
Okay. Good evening once again. And on behalf of our national chairman, Dr. Joseph Mad, I want to appreciate everybody that we are together this evening to listen to this evidence. It was so apt. You know what is happening now in our country. Economic crisis. We need this message. We need this aid and this time to help our mental states, despite all odds. So I want to appreciate the mental health SIPAN group for bringing up this topic this night. I appreciate all of you. So on behalf of our chairman and the NEC, want to congratulate this group for bringing up this topic this night. It's quite apt. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma. Pharmacist Suleiman, please, can you make a comment?
Yeah.
While we're waiting.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. We can hear
Yes.
you.
Yeah, I want to thank the presenter, and I am happy that I called her at the very last minute and she responded. That is one of the good things of having a good colleague. Thank you very much, the presenter. And I also want to thank SIPAN for giving us the platform. And all those that have attended, we are very grateful. I also want to say that the objectives of this topic is not only for us as pharmacists to be well-being, which exactly we want to have a stable mental health, but then we should also know that our patients is also paramount to us. Sometimes we do not need to hand over drugs to our patients, but to give them the mental health advice. I have once told one of my students to leave that course, that you can't do it. It was a difficult thing for him, but he did and he left. I have also told somebody that change your environment because the environment is not good for you. So sometimes as pharmacists, we must look beyond the disease, but the cause of the disease, which can probably say, leave the job. Because some people, the job is hell, while the home is heaven. Some people, the road from their job to their house is hell. So I have told someone, where you are staying, it's not conducive for you. Leave that environment. So we need to know our patients, talk to them, and sometimes they will work out and take the best decision, which will affect them positively. So the objective is to counsel our patients as far as their mental health being is concerned. So thank you very much for everyone that has attended. Thank you, the presenter, once again, because I know what it takes for you to put this together in a very short time. I'm so grateful. And the moderator, thank you too, that I have to hold your shirt, that you need to do this thing and you did it in a very short time. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Please, does anybody have any question while we're waiting for, I have one for our presenter. Pharmacist Oyinlade, please, I have a question for you. I particularly enjoyed the slide on financial wellness. The question I want to ask is, how do you strike a balance between your ambition and what you have? Like, you have ambitions, but the reality on ground cannot actually meet the ambition. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because wellness is all about striking a balance. How do you propose we strike a balance?
Okay, thank you. If I got you well, you're trying to talk about your ambition and probably you need finances to achieve it. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So one thing I know, like I mentioned, what you enjoy doing, if you have skills in it, even that will also bring money or financial things for you. At the very instance, you might not be able to achieve the finances you have, but the little ones you have, you can start with it. So it's going to help you eventually if you have a very good skill and people see it, and then before you know, you have money there to be able to finance that. So that's how you have to strike the balance. Like I said, don't let money or a particular thing be the drive. When you make money be the drive of what you want to achieve or your ambition, it's a very tough one. Because when the money doesn't come, you drop the goal, you drop the aim. But if that's not it, you will get it. And at the end of the day, the money will come after, once you are able to strike the balance between development of your goals, of your aim, like I said, creative, be innovative. It might be tough at the beginning, but when you are persistent with it and you're sure about it, those finances will come and it won't be much problem. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Thank you so much. You have actually answered my question very well. Everything good will come eventually, but we shouldn't make money our primary goal. Mr. Parker's hands are raised, and I also saw that Dr. Joseph Madu is on the call. Please, Dr. Joseph Madu, can you say one or two words for us? Thank you, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone. Please, am I audible enough?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, thank you, Madam Moderator, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Let me use this opportunity to also congratulate the mental health and psychiatric pharmacists of Nigeria. I want to thank all of you for what you're doing and for honoring SIPAN and presenting on our platform tonight. Let me apologize for joining very late. Actually, I'm just getting to the house. I was driving all day and I've just gotten home just now. So I wasn't really part of the presentation. I believe it's just questions and answers time right now. Let me thank the presenter for taking the time to prepare and increase our bank of knowledge. Let me say this, please. One of my sisters, one of my siblings is, she's a nurse. She's a nurse, chief nursing officer. And one day she happened to join SIPAN clinical meeting. I wasn't at the meeting that night, but when she came back, she told me that, wow, what you pharmacists are doing is so great. if you people can just continue this, just in the next 2 to 3 years, people will begin to respect pharmacists. She said, sometimes the problem we have with both nurses and the medics is because they do not really have so much confidence in us. And you will agree with me that if you have one good Oyinlade or one good Effiong, that will not be enough. But if it is spread, then before you know it, the impact begins to tell on the society, and people will start to give us our due recognition. And I know it's by this kind of things. Somebody make a presentation, do research. This is the easiest way to learn. We all gather together and she give us the bullet points of the most important things, particularly in our contemporary times, where a lot of things are there, hardship, fuel increase, everything. Things are just, this as someone said, this is perilous times and we really need to pray. And we know that all those things will really touch on our mental health. So we thank the presenter for coming to tell us some of the coping strategies that we can use so that no one's mental health degenerates or someone that will get depressed and jump into the lagoon. Most importantly, the participants. If the presenter is here and there are no people to listen, then it will not be a meeting. So I thank everyone, I encourage everyone, and I say let us keep on keeping on. Thank you very much and God bless.
God bless you too, sir. Thank you so much. Like I said, Pharmacist Oyinlade has presented us with a kind of manual to go through these perilous times. I'm sure that we're going to get copies of that slide after this presentation. Our National Secretary, Dr. Motiat, please be on the standby for closing remarks and closing prayer, while Mr. or Mrs. PACA, we will unmute you. You can please ask your question or say what you want to say, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mrs. Charles Akishet. The Pacadia is just the initials joined together. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear, sir. We can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to say very big kudos to the presenter this evening and Dr. Sulaiman, who was also my classmate at IFE. So it's nice hearing his voice this evening after a long time. I really 120% agree with the presenter, but I also want to add that pharmacists, we just in line with what the national chairman just said, that we can learn a lot. We have a lot. But if we are not able to disseminate this knowledge, especially at the grassroots, that notion that the doctors and the nurses have about us will continue. We are not in any battle with anybody. But if you ask me, I will ask our colleagues to begin to engage at the community level. Places like associations like road safety, Masha, whatever they call it, PCRC, Police Community Relations Committee, ACDCA, CDC, get involved. And oftentimes they will engage you on public health enlightenment programs. When we do this, our visibility and acceptability will increase. I do this a lot, so I know what I'm talking about. So let's also remember that the pharmacist is so knowledgeable, so skilled, that if he's not careful, he'll be confused on what area to specialize in. So just identify your key goal area and be good at it and spread. I love the aspect that she said, don't be selfish with knowledge. It is just the key word. Because the more you give out, the happier you become. And the more you are able to give out, the more you are refreshed and refilled, and because you have given out, you are getting refilled. And as you are getting refilled, you are getting joy. And joy, inner joy, supersedes every other kind of problem that you can face, financial, whatever it is. As far as you have inner joy, you are good to go. Success has no destination. It's a moving train. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be part of it. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir. Pharmacist Unaji Maria has raised up her hand. Please make it brief. Please make it brief. Thank you. Okay, maybe that was an error. I completely agree with our last speaker that pharmacists should not be afraid to collaborate, make ourselves visible, choose an area of specialization and shine therein. One of my takeaways from today's presentation is that we should not compete with the Joneses. Do the one you can do and rest. Thank you all so much for engaging in today's presentation. Dr. Motiat, are you still on the call, please? As we prepare to round up, can you just give us some closing remarks and help us close? Dr. Motiat.
Sorry, good evening. Good evening. I'm here. I have cold, so I don't know. I hope my voice will be clear enough.
We can hear you, ma. Don't worry.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. It's been very wonderful tonight. We've had the presenter taking us through it. She really talk like a mental health specialist, because they tell us in mental health, the job of anyone in mental health is to make things easy. Because when you have people that are already disturbed, as she has explained, things will be difficult. At the beginning, she talked about when people are not able to do what ordinarily they are supposed to do effortlessly, when they have difficulties doing these things. So for mental health, the main thing is to make things easy for people to do. And she has done that for us tonight. We thank her most sincerely. And for the moderation too, it has been top notch. When we lost the presenter at the point, I was like, wow, but you stepped in beautifully. So for everybody that has stayed with us tonight, we thank everyone. So I'm also supposed to take the closing prayer.
Yes, ma.
I'm asking, okay. So let's pray. We thank Almighty Allah for taking us to the end of today. And we ask Him to be with us as we seek to further progress in our profession, as we ask Him to help us so that we can get to where we hope that pharmacy profession will be, that glorious future that we are seeking will be here one day, and we'll all be part of it. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Please remember to take care of your mental health.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a wonderful weekend.
See you. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Well done, sir.
Thank you, family. Thank you so much.
Mental